Okay, Shalus Ima Shalom. Bishto Shalom and Gabi Elezer, Achosu Shalom and Gamliel. So Ima Shalom was the wife of Rabbi Elazar ben Hurkanus. She was also a sister of Gamliel. Ibnei Ma Banaich Yafim. Why are your children so beautiful? B'shas Tashmish, Ma'otzlech, and how to have relations with her. Amalev, she said, Loya Masaper mi Loba Mishmer Mishona. They didn't have relations with me, literally converse with me. Not in the first Mishmar, which is usually from nightfall to the fourth hour of, not usually, always from nightfall to the fourth hour of the night. Mishmar Achrono, which is the last 4 hours of the 4 hours before the end of the night until sunrise. Elabam Tzois, but rather than middle Mishmar, which is from more or less 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. The Gal Tefach. He revealed a tefach and covered tefach. In other words, he was very tzanua in having relations. It's as if he was compelled by a demon. Now, it's interesting what exactly that means. Evidently means as if he was compelled to do it, but it also can mean that he did it very quickly. Michael Rebbe Kokach Lomali. It says, interesting. She addressed her husband as Rabbi. Rabbi, why are you doing it so quickly and in the middle of the night? Like this, so I shouldn't think of another woman. It's the middle of the night. There's no sounds from outside. Nothing to distract me thinking of somebody else. Or is there? Nor is this I do it quickly. There's no time for me to think about somebody else. Which would have brought his children to not real mamzerus, but something a negative conception. Okay, let's see the Biaor. Case b'shas tashmish, right? B'shas tashmish. It said case no game but b'shas tashmish. Conducting something. Let him saper mishamesh lo mishmar rishona. Shalai nechlak l'shlosh mishmaros. So the night is divided into 3 mishmars. Relations in the middle of the night. The guys have a constant have. So the Gemara brachos amru. She till goes to Chaim Kanievsky. You're allowed to, when you go to urinate, you're allowed to reveal 2 tefachim in front, in order that you should have ample room to urinate and not wet your clothes. Even though it should be the same shear as urinating, you leave 1 tefach closed. That's going to run. All the perushim it says there are true. He only presents this one. Usually only present 1 shot. There's the most simple shot. In fact, though, the Gemara says that, and the question is how this can be reconciled with Rabbi Eliezer, but the Gemara says that one is not allowed to have relations with clothed. One has to be naked when having relations, but evidently that's only if they're not moichel to each other. If they're moichel to each other, so then they can have relations when they're clothed. And presumably, Ima Sholem was moichel to her husband Rabbi Eliezer. They could remain clothed while he was having relations. That's, I guess, the shot. Using photoshation is not also double bias, using it by being compelled. So let's have the title Isha Cheres. People are going in the marketplace. He knew that they're lame, and he's going to he's going to pay attention to them. He's going to get distracted. Needs to be the Torah. Of course, it doesn't mean literally mamzerus. Elo b'nei yud midos. Don't mean along the brayso comes in. The next brayso tells us there are 10 midos which are like mamzerim, even though they're not truly mamzerim. There are problems with the kids. They were very careful about this aspect. Okay, says the Gemara. Interesting. Originally, they said to her, "Banaich yafim." The children are handsome, beautiful. Ichsefa. So she was embarrassed. She didn't want to tell them. It says Rabbi Chaim, right? Okay, this is this. This is very private stuff. I tell them. They said Torah anu tzrichim lilmod. It's Torah. We have to learn it. We're embarrassed. Okay, says the beer. No, it's Mia. Torah anu tzrichim lilmod. We can't be embarrassed. It's Torah. We have to learn like any other Torah. So there's nothing embarrassing here. Okay, so fine. They asked him, came to Chazoyachi, since she saw that they were really doing it in order to be able to learn, so therefore she talked to them. She said the whole story over. When most people are having relations, and therefore in the old days, when people lived basically out in the open, sound would carry. So we think about the other people having relations. Mm-hmm. And therefore, he did in the middle mishmar. That other people not having relations. Let's say the beer. She said the whole story. Shame is man bia. People going back and forth in the marketplace. Well, I guess according to the first shot, it's not that they're having relations, but he hears them outside. Now Hashem is man bia chola. Second shot is what I just said. They're trying to be for the rest of the world. They either get together at night before they go to sleep, but so far in the morning, before they get up from sleep. You locate all these. You can do it in the middle of the night. Okay. Next brisa. Mikan Amru. So the Rabbi Chaim says, Rabbi Eliezer. So in other words, I guess for the fact that he said that there's such a thing as Bnei Mamzerus, which is not really Bnei Mamzerus. So they learned Asar Mamzerim ve'ena Mamzerim. 10 types of children which are like Mamzerim, but they're not truly Mamzerim. These are they. Bnei Nida, children of a wife is Nida. Bnei Nidui, children when one of them is in Cherem. Bnei Amma, children of a maidservant, evidently who's been released. Bnei Anusa, children of a when one compels one's wife to have relations against her will. Bnei Snua, children of a wife who's detested. Bnei Mefuta, is evidently not a wife. It's talking about you had relations with a unmarried girl you seduced. Bnei Gusha Salev, children of a wife which you had a mind ready to divorce. Bnei Tamura, children of a wife when you had a mind a different one of your wives. Bnei Shichus, children of drunkenness when she has relations when he or she is drunk. Yeshamei Bnei Chatzufa, she's brazen enough to ask for relations outright. Bnei Yeshena, children of a woman you have relations with since she's sleeping. Some relations with his fiancée when she's still in the house of his future father-in-law. Okay, says the Bior. You kind of move out of Rabbi Lezer, but I'm saying, they're almost like they're damaged goods. When one of them is in cherem, excommunication. A maidservant has been released from bondage. Since she was accustomed to licentious behavior, her children are damaged. Neanusa, children of a woman who's raped, Rabbi Yossi. I forgot what the machlokas was. you see it back anywhere?
The bottom of Zion. Bottom of Zion.
Yeah. I could have made Hershey. Hershey.
The last bright on page Zion.
Yeah, but I don't see what the machlokes is. That's something about how you why.
Why does what is the cause for bad children?
Okay, I guess that's what he's referring to. I don't see anything else. Fine. No, no, so look at Mama at Ches, the top, that's actually where it's more explicit in the Gemara. Be'ezemem Nation Tova, Hatabai honest ask you my honest to come bio the Garim, my swear is man bio Garim. When's the honest? Is it before having relations or it's during the time having relations? Okay, they're both about being compelled, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the question is whether compelling was before or during relations. Okay. Okay, back to the biur. B'nei mefuta shivcha besula shapoy pita besula. He seduced a virgin while they had a relationship. Negus lev klon shigomar liva garsha. He decided already he's going to divorce her. B'nei temura shaba achas minash gasar b'shita terasa. He thinks it was the other one. B'nei shivcha shaba lakshua he b'shichus. They're drunk. If you get your name like a star b'hamzerim, say Latisha. They're 9. That was she goes kanganke b'nei Yerbuvia. Can see mechalazuta. They show nashim harbeir the alays man ba. And many women doesn't know which one they have relation. Well, that b'nei b'tura. It's not about b'nei b'tura before. It doesn't niskam l'achas man. They had in mind one of them. Yiskavu got switched. And Mavcha is man ba, but he doesn't know with whom he's having relations. Yinam mechin goes see mechalazuta lo goris lohacha because the goris hacha lo hasam. So there are differences between the two mesechtes. Yinam nechatzuva d'alad mashal ma'asara. That's nechatzuva is one of the 10. Lo gasim yeshomri. You don't say yeshomri. Masar b'nechatzuva v'kay b'nei yeshena greda. So the yeshomri is only going on the last in the Mishnah.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2. B'nei yeshena v'abah was supposed to be the neis chamid. Anyway, the came before Barabban. However, the chesh works. She demands relations. If she ashamed of I've got these, you can have a relationship and she's sleeping. I've got these immediately based on Rabban Chamar and Balim. Hey, the shame land because the star bunch the same age knows. When they come out for a business trip.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. 1 second.
So Shabbat she ashamed of I've got these Benida. Hamari Palim the same land with Ches Tarabon was the same Ben Yoshenos. When they come back from the road. Awesome little garment you shane of mine. It's not talking about literally when she's asleep. She's not awake enough. To say if she's Torah or not, you can assume she's Torah. Places. Oh, they're considered to be like a biasnus because their kavana is not of the highest quality.
Okay.
Okay. On to the Gemara. You say you have to go in 5 minutes or now?
Yeah, I think. Well, let's try to do this bit of Gemara and then we can stop.
Okay, but they need someone needs to arrest. So there's more punishment in the story. They do eventually they're going to go get saras. They need to suffer so they themselves are going to be put in chayra. B'nei Amma someone is vacuum ikhdusha. Eventually this himself from the the holiness of Klal. B'nei Snur Shoshanis mitzvah going to detest the mitzvos. B'nei Anusa Shem Ner Nosim. Let's see, look at the Rabbi Chaim. They saw she's saying mitzvahs, so shlof and she's saying mitzvahs. She doesn't shame own seem gorsiness. So when she bename nami also the parent, if the parents are abusive, father's abusive, the children are also going to be abusive. That's a rabban. Or if I shame, then nothing become mitzvahs. They're going to be compelled not to commit mitzvahs. She yitzrum chazak. It's strong. The kashalam all the kind of Torah, and it's very difficult for them to fulfill the Torah as a result. Back to the text. Neifuta sofan shemefatim libam. Their heart is going to be seduced. They're going to be seduced to do averos. B'nei grushas aleim shemagarish kol tov umedabek bara. He's going to cast away all good and cling to bad. B'nei tamura sof sheminas b'risol. Eventually, he's going to kill. Kid is going to give up his covenant. Have children as if they are drunk. If you don't know, Heli says to Chana, until when are you going to be drunk? Same. It says, fools killing the shikarim as if they are drunk. Or maybe Rashi Shichos Lomiyain is drunk now for my Kash Kambeli. Targumina Mishatiyah. Hilda b'nei shichus mida k'neged mida you banim shaitim. They're foolish kids. V'yeshim b'nei chatzufa elu hazei panim. Those are going to be the brazen ones. B'nei shena, but when we're sleeping, elu tzom. Those are the lazy ones. Rabbi says Beischami pliga b'Rav Shmuel shulchamar Vlad mamzer, kadamar Vlad shtuki. It's a very strange thing. Put it to each other. That's the Rabbi Chaim. As they put him name as they put him, name Shena, name Atzlani, Bakomida Knegan Bida. Avram said, I've got name Bodim Shabal, even though they both concede, he was the one that had relations with them. Yeshli plus of la blood, he could assume that the child comes from both of them. No, you have to be suspicious, maybe since she was Pruta to have relations out of marriage. In fact, she had relations with another guy, and she's moved back from him. She's suki serving mamzer. He's going to be serving mamzer. The saplo and noris nu kosher if they came from the fiance and it's a kosher child. I mean, from another person. Mamzer but ain't no mamzer. It's not really mamzer. In the Brayso, I know I feel the idea on shiabra minay, and it's not really mamzer because it means that even if we know that actually is the father's son, still there's an element of mamzer in it because it was done with brazenness and inappropriate licentious behavior since it was done out of wedlock. Okay. Have a great trip. Speak to you next week.
Thank you. All right. Take care. Bye.